They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It is. It's 4 o'clock and it's Thursday. And you're listening right here to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your place for Super Bowl 60 right here in the Panhandle. We're so glad to have you joining us today on this beautiful day. We finally got some beautiful weather right here in the Panhandle. And we are excited about it. We got a special guest in the building. Brandon, Tennessee Brandon, is in the house. We're so glad to have you, buddy, and on this beautiful day. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. The weather's a little bipolar. I was hot yesterday, a little warmer, is looking optimistic, and had to throw double jackets back on today.
What?
Yeah, but we're here. We're ready to get rock and rolling.
All right, well, it's good to have you. And as always, on a Thursday, the Bone Crusher's in the building. How you doing, Bone Crusher?
I did my taxes early. I thought I was going to be affluent moving into a bigger tax bracket, but apparently my Papa John's pizza points does not add towards my
That's right.
Well,
yeah, so sorry about that.
Towards my net wealth. Right?
That's all right. It's okay. Well, we'll keep you in mind whenever we do our taxes. Maybe we can get you as a dependent and write you off or whatever.
Thank you.
All right. But either way, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. Your place for custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. Go ahead and check them out on Facebook and on the web. We're pumped up today because we've got, for the first time on the Sports Blitz, our friend and favorite athletic director, I'll say this time, Mr. Doug Lee is on the phone, head baseball coach of the Mosley Dolphins. How you doing today, Doug?
Doing great. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. We're excited so much. Now, I was mentioning to a friend of mine that I was having you on the show today, Doug, and he had saw that I'd put it out there. And he told me, he said, I've been knowing Doug for a long time, and he said, don't share my name on the radio because I don't want Doug to get mad at you. But he said that that you used to be a Major League umpire. I didn't know that, Doug.
Well, I used to work in the Atlantic Coast Conference. I was a Division I NCAA umpire for about 22, 23 seasons, and so I worked for the ACC and the Atlantic Sun and the Sun Belt Conferences for those years. So didn't make it to major leagues, never went the pro route, but did do a lot of collegiate at a very high level. Was very grateful and honored for that opportunity. A lot of good memories.
That sounds fantastic. So obviously, you know how it is working on the field when it comes to that. So let's dive right into it over there at Mosley. So this year, now let me ask you this, Doug, real quick, a side note. I know that you guys changed for football. Now that's not going to take place until 2026 next year, as far as your what your ranking is right now, as far as being, are y'all going to be 4A or 5A for baseball?
We're 5A still at this moment this year, and we're locked in there with Charles High School, Leon High School, and Lincoln High School out of Tallahassee, all three of them in Tallahassee.
Okay, so that's, okay, I got you. So give us a little preview of what you got going on, who you got coming back, who's going to be some of your leaders, and just kind of give us a little preview on the year, Doug.
Well, we're excited about it. You know, they're ready to play tonight. We get to put our uniform on tonight, play under the lights. Maybe a little chilly, but we're excited about playing in the preseason classic that Bay High is hosting this week. We get a chance to play Bozeman tonight. But, you know, we've got 3 seniors this year. All 3 of them should contribute in a mighty big way. And one of them, obviously, was our number 1 last year. He's coming off of Tommy John, Carter Payne. Hoping to have him back. He's working really hard to get back, and hoping we can have him back before, around April and be ready to go for postseason, and looking forward to that. But I like this team offensively. We got a really good 2027 class. really high on a lot of those guys. As far as offensively, Xavier Demrow and Jacob Oakes, Ryan Harless, Brady Lee, C.J. Harris, all those guys have had good years offensively, and I look for them to have breakout years again this year. But, Peyton Williams is in that leadoff spot. He's in 2026 and really a college prospect in my mind. He hits in the leadoff spot, and I think he sets the tone, and as he goes, we go offensively. So I think he's a key component to this year's team as far as getting on base and can put a lot of pressure on the defense with his speed. On the mound, we have Ryan Harless, who's returning and ready to go. He's a Louisville commit, left-handed arm, and so he's a proven commodity. He's got a lot of innings under his belt at Mosley and been in some big moments. Brady Lee's a 2027, who we feel like will give us really a lot of good quality innings and is ready to go. He's going to be putting some situations this year, and I think he's ready for that test. Hunter Bollinger, again, is a senior, got electric on him. He's got good stuff, and I really believe his best days are ahead of him on the mound, too. And, I'm really high on we got a sophomore in Rowe that I'm really high on. And Parker Rowe has got some really good stuff off the mound. Again, a sophomore, been untested, but again, we're going to throw him out there, and he's going to get his opportunities. Several guys out the bullpen as far as Carter Sanders, a big, tall left-hander. And it just, if we can get that thing in the strike zone, I think he could be really, really effective for us this year. And then Jake Yates is a junior, and again, really an unknown. Him and Carter Sanders, really unknown guys, but really have good stuff, and I really believe could give us quality innings out of that bullpen this year.
Well, that sounds fantastic. Now, Doug, let me ask you this. Whenever you're, out there and baseball has changed, but at the end of the day, it's still high school baseball, moving runners, putting the ball in play, taking a good pitch, making sure you get you're selective at the plate, and just making the contact and not trying to hit all the home runs. Because I know in Major League Baseball, we've kind of have a lot of strikeouts, and I know that, watching a lot of the college game, I'm a big fan. My son plays. I'm always on the ball field, throwing batting practice whenever I can to those kids. But, I want to know from a high school coach's perspective, when you see all of this going on and you have to try to let these guys know, hey, it's about your approach. It's about getting up there and having a good at-bat. It's about putting the ball in play. It's about moving runners. It's about doing what's best for the team. And how do you go about doing that when you're talking to those young men, Doug?
Well, defensively on that side, we just tell them, hey, we don't really care when you make the great play. Just make the routine play. If we just make the routine plays, I think that gives us a very good chance to win. And obviously, they always say pitching and defense wins championships. So I think the key is just, working ahead of hitters, first pitch strikes, and then, going from there. But I think the key is, as a pitching staff, working ahead, playing sound defense behind him, and then timely hitting. And obviously, we're going to do all we can to manufacture runs. You can't steal first base, but if you can get there, then you can really start to put a lot of pressure on the defense. And so we talk about hitting approach a lot, two-strike approach, as far as just, reducing the amount of strikeouts and putting it in play, because I do think at the high school level, the team that puts the ball in play the most has really the best opportunity to win. And a lot of times at the high school level, games are not won; they're usually lost. It's usually the team that makes the most mistakes that comes up short. And so, I think there's a lot of truth to that. So, it's tough on 15 to 16, 17-year-olds. It's a game of failure, so you have to really talk through the mental side of the game and continue to build confidence and all the things. But it's a challenge. But, I really, really like this club. I like the competitiveness of it, and I'm excited about how we respond tonight and getting out there tonight.
Well, and that's the biggest thing, is being able to get together and gel and build that team throughout the year. And let me ask you this, Doug. So you guys start out with this classic Do y'all have any out-of-town games coming up in the next few weeks, or is it going to be pretty local and pretty much against all of the guys that you're going to be playing against and getting ready for conference games?
Yeah, so next week we open up we're fortunate to play at home next week. We host Condell in a home opener, and then on Friday we host Mariana. And then the following week we'll go to Bay. We play at Bay High, and then we'll have Enterprise here in town. And Enterprise is a really, really good program. They're well coached. Their coach was at University of Montgomery, Auburn Montgomery for many years, and he does a great job with them. And they went a long way in their playoffs in Alabama. So we get them, and obviously we'll have Niceville in town and go to Crestview here in the next few weeks too. So, it's the thing about it in high school, as you know, with these rankings, it used to not be that every game mattered so much, and you can kind of develop guys, but now every game matters. And so that's kind of how we've talked about as a coaching staff, is we're going to approach it one game at a time, and we're going to play it one game at a time, and, try to win it one day at a time. So, anyway, that's we're looking forward to it.
Let me ask you this. Sometimes we do talk about, a lot of times we do talk about the kids, but tell us some about your coaching staff. Give some of the names and some of the shout outs, and because I know that behind every good coach is a great coaching staff.
Well, we got a great coaching staff, and the unique part of it is we got several great stories. Taylor Stanford has been here at Mosley for a while and worked for several head coaches. I really call him the Bill Graff of Mosley baseball, and Bill Graff was a long-time assistant football coach here at Mosley for 30-some years and never was the head coach, but he was the right-hand man of every head coach we had. I mean, he did a lot of the behind-the-scenes work, and I think that's what Taylor brings to our table. He's a former player of mine, so that's kind of unique in that situation. Daniel Davis is our pitching coach. He pitched here and was on my first team in '99, way back when. Went to Gulf Coast, Florida State, and actually ended up pitching in the big leagues for a little bit with the Angels. And so he's a former player of mine, and he's, having him, and it's kind of neat. He has his son on the roster. His son's a freshman here. And so that's another unique story. And then we got Steve Gillespie, who has a lot of Division I baseball coaching experience that at a lot of places as an assistant and as a head coach. And he's in town, and we got him on board, and we've really been excited about having him. He's our hitting guy and our outfield coach, and just having him around has been incredible. And then, near and dear to my heart, part of my own family is my brother. He's our head JV coach, and of course we kind of run our practices together a lot of days. So we're all five together a lot with all our players, and I just feel really good about who we have. And like you said, great assistant coaches make great head coaches, just like great players make great coaches, So just very fortunate to have these guys beside me each and every day.
Yeah, that's the most important, to be able to surround yourself with those guys that can really help you and get you guys to the next level. Well, we appreciate you taking the time out. We're talking with Doug Lee from Mosley High School, head baseball coach and also athletic director. And let me ask you this, Doug, stepping out of baseball into football real quick. We've got a couple of your signees coming in today. How great of a job did Coach Tommy Joe do for your program this year? He's going to be coming in later as well, but I'd like for you to tell us how great of a job he did over there for you guys with the Mosley.
Well, what's really ironic, I was on a hiring committee at Rutherford when I was assistant principal back then. Really wasn't involved with athletics too much, but they asked me to be on that committee, and Coach Whitten applied for that Rutherford job. I don't know how long ago. It's been 11 years ago, and we for whatever reason, we went with somebody else. But I remember leaving after that interview, I said, that guy's going to be a heck of a coach one day. Mm-hmm. And, God always has a plan, and God's timing is perfect. And, I always had my eyes on Coach Whitten from a distance and thought a lot of him, and he's always had success everywhere he's been. But to have him and be around him the last 5 years, I really mean this. I know it's cliche to say things like this, but I really believe he's one of the best high school football coaches I've ever been around. And there's been some good ones here. I've been around Steve Harden in his career here. I know George Cochran had great years here. I have a lot of respect for the tradition at Mosley, and George Dean way back had some great teams here at Mosley too. But just to be in the trenches with him, to watch his practices, to see what he does for our kids, he holds them accountable, which is not always easy in this day and world, but he really loves them. I think they know he loves them, but he's going to push them and challenge them every day. And, what he's done in the win-loss column, you can't argue. I mean, he's just done an unbelievable job. And, of course, as we had these two guys sign today, he told a unique story about both of them. But, just to see lives change, too, is a huge part of it. And I think he's in the business of changing lives also. And that's a credit to him, too.
Well, we sure do appreciate you coming on today and being a part of the show. We will definitely touch base with you very soon and check in with you and maybe come over there and catch a couple of the games and do some stuff. Bone Crusher's got something.
I got a question for Coach Lee, but really it's not for Coach Lee. It's for Umpire Lee. I want to know how you approach a baseball game when you work with the umps that maybe they make a bad call or something like that. And the other question. I'll get my second question after that.
Well, okay. Well, I get that question a lot. And, I've been on both sides of it, and the hardest part, I think, for young umpires, I'll say this, is just to not take things personal. Now I'm a head baseball coach, so there's a different role that I play. As an umpire, there's a role that they play. And, but I do appreciate the job they do. I know they all work hard. They all are giving their best effort, and it's unique. I've been a part of some great memories as far as intense, I guess, conversations at the Division I level, and been a part of those. But I think that's the unique thing that has really taught me and helped me grow as a person is that. The next day the sun's coming up and you can't take it personally. It's each of you's got a job to do, whether you're the umpire or the coach. And I love that relationship. I love the coach umpire or the coach official relationship. It's a unique relationship that everybody just has a hard time understanding. So I'm very honored to have been in both of them.
Second question, Coach Lee, and this might be a trigger, but with all the changes to the strike zone and the robo umps and the lasers and stuff, I don't want to make your blood boil, but what is your take on what's going on there?
Well, I can remember when we went to instant replay and I was still in Division I, there was some hesitancy on our part as umpires, but as you went into it, it really saved a lot of arguments. I know it saved a lot of ejections, but to be able to go and take a second look at it and get it right and not affect the game, I think that is huge. I know we're toying with the strike zone now, and I've got several buddies that are current minor league umpires right now and have been, and I've talked to them about it. Personally, it was always hard if you kicked the call or missed a call in the first inning, you think, oh, goodness, we got 9 more innings to play. Surely, let's don't miss 2 tonight, And so,
right. I mean, you can't kick dirt onto the shoe of a robo-ump. You can't bump and push into the laser cam.
Right. You're absolutely right. And listen, as a plate umpire, presentation from the catcher had a lot to do with whether it was a ball and strike. Now, with that RoboCop, there may be a curveball that hits the bottom of the zone that may bounce. So, you just kind of got to get past it and kind of get used to where we're heading in the game. And, I don't know, it's unique. It really is.
Yeah.
I'm kind of more old-fashioned, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you because I don't want obviously when I'm umpiring little kids, because I do that on the side a little bit some too, and I don't want the kids to frame too much when it's way outside. They'll still try to frame at 9 and 10 and 11 years old. But, man, we can't lose the art of framing.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely an art to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on with us and taking your time out, and we hope to have you on in future and come check you out. And we hope y'all have a great season, and y'all stay warm tonight.
Well, thank you for having me, and thanks for all you do for our high school sports across the county.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Yes, sir. That was Doug Lee with Mosley High School. We appreciate him coming on today. You know, when you think about it, though, Brandon, it's tough, man, because even, you know, being at the Little League level and you know, you're involved in that as well. Some of these kids that are out there umpiring, they're trying to learn. Maybe they didn't even play, and they're trying, you know, that's their job, and they're trying to take it serious.
Could be their first job.
Yeah, and then you got these dads that are really intense trying to win that $2 ring, because that ring's very important.
Yeah, coaches meeting preseason, the commissioner had to remind us at least 3 times, said, this is 8 and under, guys. So let's remember this. This is rec ball, not travel ball. These kids aren't getting drafted next year. So let's, you know, try to have a little bit of fun for them. You know, everybody wants to win, and, you know, some people do take it a little too far. Yeah.
Paul, has a 9-year-old ever, like, kicked dirt on your shoe as an umpire?
Not kicked dirt on me, but definitely looked at me like, what? Like, turned around and looked at me. I'm like, Coach, get this kid, please. I'm not going to. But I will say that, you know, I do keep it, you know, kind of light and have a good time with it, because, you know, there has to be an adult in the room.
Have you ever ejected a 9-year-old?
No, I have not. No ejection of 9-year-olds.
Are you behind the plate?
I've been behind the plate several times.
Are you animated?
I mean, I am a little bit.
I love the animation.
I'm not dancing or anything, if that's what your question is. Yeah, I'm not doing the Cupid
shuffle. No, but I would like to know if it's a ball or a strike and not just.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I'm doing it, you know whether it's a strike or a ball, so that's a good thing. But either way, we're going to go ahead and take our first break, and when we come back, I promise you, we will not be talking about umpires and dancing. When we get back, we're going to discuss Trinidad Chambliss. Is he coming back to Ole Miss or not? You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 7T studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
I wonder if Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah was the reason Rodgers wasn't there, whether or not Rodgers chooses to go to Minnesota, play with those receivers, Aaron Jones if he's still on the team, versus the one more year with Mike McCarthy. Like, Aaron Rodgers finishes his career with Pittsburgh, he becomes the good guy. Aaron Rodgers goes to Minnesota, he becomes the bad guy. Is he willing to do that again?
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The rest of the day, sunny and a temperature of 52 with wind 13 to 17 miles per hour out of the northwest. Clear skies tonight, a brisk wind and cool near 41. Sunny and 63 tomorrow. 62 and sunshine with a gentle breeze Saturday. Sunday, sunshine and a temperature about the same at 60. This is your Thursday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Get ready, boys. Valentine's Day is incoming. Coin and Bullion Reserve's fine jewelry will take great care of you and make the process easy. Earrings, necklaces, diamonds, and engagement rings. Jewelry to fit any budget. For decades, you've trusted Coin and Bullion Reserve's fine jewelry, the largest rare coin and bullion dealer in the Southeast. Finest jeweler in town, still at 2621 East 15th Street. Coin and Bullion Reserve's fine jewelry, your diamond headquarters.
For Valentine's Day is Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina. You'll love the fajita and margarita special. 2 margaritas and a double fajita for $29.99. Plus regular specials like 10% off military on Mondays. And the wildly popular 2-for-1 house margaritas and draft beer all day, every day. The legendary Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina. Now with 2 locations. Back Beach next to Home Depot and Highway 77.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national
national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
Lay up good and wide. Up for the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Florida versus Texas A&M. Coverage starts Saturday at 7 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Can you take the hits? Here comes the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for the Orlando Magic and the New Jersey Nets tonight. Tip-offs right after the show. I'm talking as soon as I say goodbye, they're going to be throwing the ball up. So tip-offs at 6 o'clock. So be ready for that. Don't forget also, Saturday is the Iron Bowl, so to speak. Alabama and Auburn, 2:30. Florida, Texas A&M at 7 o'clock. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in to be a part of the Red 7Ts phone line, 850-215-6290. We're pumped up in here. Got Brandon in the house with us. Jeffrey still walking around in Disney with Mickey Mouse ears on. I'm wondering if he's got minis on now by the time he comes back. Jeez. And we got Bone Crusher here. You know, we got to think about some stuff. I got the email late last night, actually, and I want to read it because I think it's very significant. We've been talking about Trinidad Chambliss and about how this whole thing has went about. So yesterday, we were looking at how that the court date is coming, and the NCAA, instead of, just allowing the court date, they went ahead and made a ruling, and they made it last night, late.
They're trying to be bullies. They're strong-arming everybody.
They said no. Now, I don't know if everybody understands the backstory of it. The backstory is that basically he was sick and he played some, but he kept having an issue with his, I guess his lungs or some kind of air or something. But anyway, respiratory issues. Yeah. And so, I'm not a doctor. So anyway, he basically couldn't play the full year, so that's the year he's asking for.
Yeah, back. I think he played a little bit and then sat out. I think the rest of the season. I'm not sure on the details, just as you are. But his is a medical condition is what he's trying to get his last year of eligibility. And I know, a lot of volunteer fans are looking at this Trinidad and thinking, Joey, the same thing. And yes and no. Joey's going after the JUCO rule, whereas Trinidad never played JUCO. It's going after the medical rule. So a little slightly different. I disagree with what the NCAA is trying to do. I typically disagree with a lot of things that they do, because they're the reason for all this. All they have to do is have some clarification, some clear-cut rules, and none of this is happening. But because everything is so gray, that, these kids are making appeals, and I don't blame them for doing so.
Well, $5 million is what's on the table. So realistically, that's exactly what it's about, because Trinidad Chambliss is probably going to be a 3rd, 4th, 5th round draft pick, somewhere around there. And obviously, with that being low of a draft pick, you're probably not going to get a chance to start. So you're probably going to be, I doubt backup, but probably 3rd, kind of like what
Shadur?
Yeah, Shadur was. Jalen Milroe, he's the 3rd string quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks.
Who would be the backup then for Seattle?
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock?
Yeah, Drew Lock is the backup for sure. So you got like those guys. So realistically, Trinidad's looking for this $5 million payday. Plus, he has the idea with a lot of the Ole Miss faithful believe that they got a chance, like they're building on to next year. So they're going to, continue that. But, they're immediately a contender if he comes back.
Yeah, I do believe so. And like you said, it's these teams that have quarterbacks that come back that seem to have the strongest play the next year. We've seen it, a multitude of times, and I do think that he could bring a little of that pizzazz back to Ole Miss that hasn't really, when Trinidad hit the field, he took place of Sims?
Yeah.
When he hit it, I mean, you could just see the elevation of the other players around him as well as himself. Yes, I do believe that he would be a key piece to take them to that spot again.
Because Austin Simmons, he's gone. And he's going to be with Missouri, so he's playing at Missouri.
In conference,
it's crazy how all these different quarterbacks are going to be at different spots, and they're going to play their former team. Almost all of them are going to play their former team. So it's going to be like a. Every weekend, it seems like it's going to be like a rivalry weekend because you're going to have players that used to be on this team that are playing against their former team and all of that. And just so everybody knows as well, Alabama's new homecoming game is going to be Texas A&M. So there you go.
That's not
an easy game to play.
No, absolutely not.
So we do want to get into a little bit more of the Super Bowl talk. There is something that's kind of going around that I want to discuss. I want to kind of get your ideas. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom Brady is a big topic of discussion when we're talking about Super Bowls.
Oh, yeah.
But also when you're talking about Super Bowls that involve the Patriots. And so realistically, Tom Brady used to be the Patriots coach, but now he's part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes.
Well, guess what? The coach for the Seattle Seahawks is a coordinator for that's being looked at, and it's possibly so. The deal is that you cannot talk to coaches while they're still coaching
until their season's over.
Until their season is over. So Kubiak is the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be the head football coach for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Allegedly.
So Tom Brady is getting interviewed. And so he's like trying to stay middle of the road. He's saying all these things about like how he's not pulling for the Patriots and how he's not doing this and he's doing because he's got his coach that's playing against the Patriots.
Yeah.
And so it's like, is this a sham? I mean, is this a fake?
I honestly don't know. I thought about this and I thought about both sides of the fence, and a part of me likes to think that with his role in Fox and his new kind of ownership and the way things soured in New England, I want to think that some of that is true. He could honestly care less. Multi-millionaire, one of the most famous, recognizable faces on the country. He's got his hand everywhere. Everybody recognizes him. I really think that he could care less whether it was the Patriots or not. He probably, none of the players on that current team, he probably hadn't played with any of them. None of his, probably played there a long time. I'm sure there's probably a couple of coaches maybe, but there's been so much turnover that typically all those coaches go.
Yeah.
Him and I think he had a good relationship with Robert Kraft. I think it was better than it was with Bill Belichick, but he's saying all the right things, and I would like to believe that he could honestly care less.
I think so. I just, I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to get your mind on it because it's kind of dominating a little bit of the news. It's talking about, and that
it's
again,
like upsetting some folks.
It's crazy because now it makes it out that the game is not about the game because we talked about it yesterday. More people are talking about Tom Brady. More people are talking about Clint Kubiak. More people are talking about Bad Bunny and Kid Rock than they are about the Seattle Seahawks and the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like, Drake May is going to be a star. Maybe Sam Darnold could come back next year.
Have some resurgence.
But we're more
worried
worried about if Bad Bunny's going to wear a dress and if Kid Rock's concert's going to be good or bad or if his hair's going to be dyed and if Tom Brady's pulling for the Patriots or it's not. Like, it's just crazy. Have we ever been where we're at a position where the Super Bowls just doesn't seem like it's got enough star power?
Well, I mean, the football season as a whole, it has kind of continued the trend. What do we talk about all college football season? Coaches.
Yeah.
We hardly ever, we talked about the games, but we talked about many times in here that the hot topic of conversation were about players and NIL deals and coaches and the carousel and who's on the hot seat and, this and this and this. And it's kind of what the NFL has been. It's not about necessarily football. I'm not saying it's a down year in football. I'm sure the ratings and the views are all up. I'm sure the money is all there. So it does seem to be a little less about football and a little more about the off the field or, kind of maybe sideline stuff rather than in between the lines.
Okay, so Bone Crusher, you and Brandon, I'm going to ask you guys a set of questions about the Super Bowl, and I want to see if you can get it yes or no. And this is going to be crazy. So, Bone Crusher, I'm going to start with you. As far as you know right now, can you name 10 players that play for the Seattle Seahawks?
No.
Okay.
No.
Brandon, can you name 10 players that play for the New England Patriots?
2? So no.
That's what I'm saying. Bone Crusher, do you know the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots?
Kid Rock.
No. Okay. I've already given you the offensive coordinator.
No, I do not know the defensive
coordinator. Do you know the defensive coordinator?
No.
Okay. So, see, there's lack of star power. Now, Bone Crusher, do you know who the head football coach is for the Seattle Seahawks?
Bad Bunny.
No. Do you know who the head coach is for the Seahawks?
Drawing a blank at the current moment.
Mike McDonald. So there you go. So you got the tale of two Mikes, Mike Vrabel and Mike McDonald. So there you go. So that's good. And that's the thing. It's, and it's because you don't have a Patrick Mahomes. You don't have a Joe Burrow. You don't have a Jalen Hurts. You don't have a Saquon Barkley. You don't have these guys. You don't have a Josh Allen. And I know that some of these guys haven't been there. Or Lamar Jackson. You don't have these big names. And that's a part of the reason why it's not done. Who led the Patriots in rushing this year? Does anybody know?
Is it Trevion?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I mean, he could have. Henderson?
Yeah.
He could have. I'm not sure. Now, I do know that Stefan Diggs is the wide receiver for the Patriots, and JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, is the wide receiver for the Seahawks.
You've named 2 of the 6 total players I could have named from both teams.
Right. So those 2 players are the most electric players on their teams, and I mean, it's just crazy because you would think that this Super Bowl being we've got more social media than we've ever had before. We've got more television. We've got more podcasters. We've got more internet editors and sports writers and all of that. Yet here we are again having a team of nobodies, realistically, not being able to know.
Yeah, and I think part of it, and you're right, and you're 100% right in what you're saying, I think it also has to do with the regions of the country. I mean, you're looking at way up northwest and northeast. You're in 2 different regions, 2 opposite sides of the country. Here in the south, I mean, you maybe ask somebody in those questions in the northeast, and they may know a few more because they're in their division. They play them. They watch more of their games, et cetera, et cetera. And you know as well as I do, it's hard to find all these NFL games and to watch them. You got to go to Netflix. You got to go to Hulu. You got to go to Amazon Prime. You may have to get the NFL Network. You may find a couple on your local programs, but you're not going to turn it on and find the Patriots playing the Jets on your local, Southeastern channel. So I do think that plays a pretty big part of it, and all the TV deals and networks and how to find the games. I do think that does play a partial role in it. But you're right. It is not necessarily a down year for the Super Bowl, but the star power just isn't there.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to go ahead and go to the Red 17's phone line. We got Arnold on the line. How you doing today?
Man, I'm a little chilled here in South Alabama. I ain't used to this cold weather, but I wanted to answer about that coaching for the Seattle Seahawks. Y'all know that Mike Vrabel, is Jeff's brother by another mother.
He does look like Jeff.
They look a lot alike. I just want to call and let people know. And, Jeff and Vrabel do favor.
They do. You're exactly right. Well, we appreciate the call. That's a definite. Yeah, the Patriots coach and Jeff. We will probably do a side-by-side on our Facebook page, Bone Crusher, soon.
We need to put Jeff in a sweater vest or something like that, and put him up there and maybe look like twins.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we sure do appreciate the call. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Thank you for your program. Enjoy it.
Yes, sir. But, and I think this year we've got to get to that place to where, obviously in the South, a lot of these teams, like you said, we're not going to know who they are unless they came from our teams.
Yeah.
And these teams aren't heavily populated with stars. They're just not.
They're not.
They're good players.
Yeah.
You know,
obviously
and
good teams. They're in the
teams.
Super Bowl, good coaches, things of that nature.
But I guess that, you know, the way the NFL is built up, you know, the star powers and I mean, because let's look at it real quick. If you'd have asked yourself at the beginning of the year, you'd have said the Chiefs, the Bills, the Eagles, the Lions, the Ravens.
Yeah.
You know, that's 5 teams you probably would have named and said, okay, out of all the teams in the country, these are the 5 teams that I think has the best chance of winning the Super Bowl.
For sure.
And none of those teams made the playoffs except for the Eagles. That was it.
Yeah, it was a really weird year. I mean, for all the key superstars to, like I said, that's why I thought it was Josh Allen's season with all the other guys out. Really thought, but you know, that guy is literally putting that team on his back. Like he doesn't have Stephon Diggs. I mean, he's talking about naming players. Name me somebody other than Josh Allen. You know, 5 players that are on the Buffalo Bills probably couldn't do that either. I mean, he carries that team, but you're right. Star power is just way down, and I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. But either way, we're going to go ahead and take our next break, and when we come back tonight, they're going to be naming the Hall of Fame guys. We got to look at it and see who's on the list. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call or text him now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida is the Panhandle's official radio home for Super Bowl 60.
Incredible!
Listen live in a rich audio experience on your home for the NFL in Super Bowl 60.
It's the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks.
Touchdown!
Sunday, February 8th.
Coverage starts at 3.
Kickoff at 5:30.
Super Bowl 60.
Exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory, or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
Looking for the most romantic night out in Panama City? Ferrucci Ristorante is your destination for authentic Italian cuisine and unforgettable moments. The candlelight, the wine, the homemade pasta. It's like a little slice of Italy. From handcrafted sauces to centuries-old recipes, Ferrucci brings true Italian flavor to every plate. It's where love stories begin and anniversaries are celebrated. To reserve your table, call 850-913-9131. Ferrucci Ristorante, Panama City's most romantic escape.
When it comes to backyard dreams, trust the name that's been making waves for over 65 years. Cox Pools. Serving the entire Florida Panhandle, Cox Pools brings experience, innovation, and quality to every custom pool design. From luxurious spas to resort-style pools, no vision is too big. Make your backyard the place to be with Cox Pools. Cox Pools, 65 years strong and still making a splash. Visit CoxPools.com or call 850-235-7957.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack. Layup good and one. Up to the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for 3. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with 2 hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Florida versus Texas A&M. Coverage starts Saturday at 7 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the heart of the Gulf Coast and streaming to every corner of the map. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we're glad that you are. Don't forget, you can be a part of the show, 850-215-6290. 104.3, we are your home for Orlando Magic basketball, specifically tonight, the Magic versus the Nets, right after the show. Don't forget that. We're here joined with Brandon today and Bone Crusher. Brandon, you know, we got to talk about it. They just put out, Adam Schefter had put out that there were 15 people that is modern era finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame with the class of 26.
Yes, sir.
To be revealed tonight. So they're going to be revealing it tonight. I want to go through the list and I want to see what people think about it. You know, you can be a part of this. You can call in or text in on the Red 7Ts. But I want to name some names and I want to get your opinion about what you think. Adam Vinatieri, obviously being one of, if not the greatest kicker of all time. I mean, with all of the playoffs, you know, stuff that he done,
and
Super
playing
Bowls.
for two prolific teams, and they're like almost like their primes too, for the Colts and the Patriots. It's hard to think, being a Peyton fan, that like he played for both teams. And you know, I was a Colts fan growing up just because of Peyton Manning, so I watched a lot of Adam Vinatieri. Yeah, and so I mean, he broke a lot of hearts, but he also made some enemies for sure. Yeah, no doubt. Darren Woodson, Drew Brees. You know, if Jeffrey was here, he would be like jumping up and down saying Drew Brees, because he definitely deserves it, right? Yeah, 100%. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, off this list of 15, if he becomes a first ballot, you know, of the guys on here. I mean, he's probably one of the most deserving on this list. You know, Frank Gore is somebody that I just don't see it. I don't know. Say he's great. He's a good back. He was really good. He played for a lot of years. Yeah. But he never, to me, was the best back in the league when he played. It's kind of like the Eli Manning effect. It was like, I can agree with that. You were great. You were good. You won. You did stuff. But you were not the best player on the field every single time or any of the years. You were not an MVP. You were not the best running back, all of that. So, I mean, realistically, when you look at that, how do you feel about Frank Gore? Más o menos, you know, right there mid-tier. I mean, like you said, I don't think that, you know, at any point in time he was the best back in the league. And any point in time, if you're looking at both teams that were playing, I mean, wasn't ever really the best player on the field. Now, was he consistent? Was he good? Did he play hard? Did he earn me some fantasy points back when I was in middle school and early high school? Yeah, most definitely. But of the list, you know, I mean, some of these guys aren't going to get on their first time, you know, so we'll just kind of see. I would be surprised if he got in first ballot. Yeah, no doubt. We're going to go ahead and go to the Red 7T's phone line. We got Big Nate on the line. Big Nate, how you doing today, my friend?
Good. Just gearing up for this weekend, guys, and I brought some intellectual tidbits for you guys to ponder over.
All right, let's go.
So if I was looking at the schedules for this year between the Patriots and their common opponents with the Seahawks common opponents, there were 7 teams that they mutually played. Both of them ended up 6-1 against those teams. They're just different teams, different times of the year, but it kind of gives you a retrospect of who's doing what to win and where. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
So we have it right here. The 7 that I can list off, and you can ask me, you know, who won or who didn't. I have it right here in front of me. So you've got the Steelers, the Texans, which the Patriots had to play twice and won both, the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Atlanta Falcons, the Tennessee Titans, the Carolina Panthers, and the New Orleans Saints.
Wow. So I would say let me see, who did the Patriots lose to? Did they lose to the Panthers?
To the Steelers, 14-21.
Okay.
It was one of their first games that they lost. It was early in the season.
Okay, so that's who it was. All right. And then who did the Seahawks lose to?
The Bucks by 3.
Okay.
With Baker Mayfield. They should have won that game.
I got
you. They just weren't. Baker was playing really off the hook that game.
Well, and that's the thing when you look at how, you know, Tampa Bay played at the beginning of the season. Don't forget how New England was playing at the beginning of the season as well. New England was not that great. They barely beat the Dolphins. They were barely winning games.
Right, they were hanging on, and then they got better every game.
Oh, yeah, they definitely got better.
The Drake May positioning, they just started coaching to his strengths better. And they got a lot more. They got better on defense throughout the year too. So, but the Hawks could say the same thing. Now, and a basic analysis that I came up with is that Seattle handled the test to the Northeast. You know, they beat the Steelers. They both played well against Houston. New England won a tight one, and Seattle got basically shut out by Tampa Bay Bucks. You know, we lost that one. Seattle dominated the Falcons 37-9.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what their injury report. I think that was without Michael Penix at the time.
Yeah, I think so too.
So that could have made a huge difference. The Patriots won pretty decisively against the Titans, and ours was a little closer. So, I mean, there's a lot of parity if you're looking at it back and forth. Some games we blew teams out, some teams we didn't. But both being, well, actually 7-1 for the Patriots and 6-1 for the Hawks, because you got to count that win against Houston twice. That is huge.
Yeah.
That is a huge thing for them to be able to do. So, you know, Houston's defense is just as good as the Seahawks. I think we're in for a really this game's going to be tight. I mean, really tight.
Well, and that's where you got to look at that's why I was like, everybody is really jumping on the Seahawks bandwagon right now. But I'm thinking, you know, you got to understand what the Patriots had to do to get there. You're playing that Denver defense, and then, like you said, playing against Houston's defense is not a small task. That defense will pin their ears back and go right after you. So, really, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'm not picking today. I'm going to pick tomorrow, but I do believe this game is going to be closer than what everybody's saying, and I don't think it's going to go how everybody thinks it's going to go.
Well, I think the Hawks have a better catalog of players.
Yes.
I think we're just deeper, and we've got a lot of really good skilled position players. And the other thing you got to look at is that we faced a lot of offensively heavy teams in our division. San Francisco, the Rams, and we played the Rams 3 times. Now, we lost the first one, barely beat them the second, and then played pretty good against them in the playoffs. So, you know, anything could have happened with San Francisco if they had a full roster, too, because they were missing so many elements. So I think it's going to be a close one, but I'm going to have to go with my home team and just say the Hawks are probably going to win by at least 4.
Let me ask you this, though. The way those teams, like when you look at those teams, yes, you got McCaffrey. Yes, you got, you know, the kid out of Notre Dame.
Puka.
You got all of that offensive firepower. But would it not surprise you if Vrabel was to put them in an I formation and try to just impose their will on them and run the football and see if they can get success with Henderson and the other guy?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if he's going to try that to be able to do it.
He can try. But when you have a front four like Seattle has and they're able to basically contain 6 people, like, it takes 6 people to stop 4.
Yeah.
So you have 7 on 5.
Right.
So the numbers aren't there. They have to commit so much to stopping our defensive line. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
And Drake May's going to have to 100%.
Run his butt off.
Yes, he's going to have to be mobile, and he's going to have to depend on Hunter Henley so much, and also Stephon Diggs. He's going to have to throw the ball to those guys.
Those short intermediate passes to Henry and stuff are going to be key to keeping the drives alive.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now that he can stretch the field with his legs, but he needs to be careful because if he runs towards Imamwari, who's going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year, I can guarantee that. I mean, Nick Imamwari is a beast.
Yeah.
He's a linebacker that plays like a DB.
Yeah, he's so long.
Find that. He's a mirror. This kid, and where did he come? What round did he get picked up in?
Maybe, was it third?
I think he was the 3rd.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. I thought he was the 3rd-round pick, but he's long, he's agile, he's mobile. He's so fast.
So good. He's so good. I mean, I watch him play, and the fact that he went after Woolen was, Reek was causing all that problems, and he said something to him as a rookie, that just shows me he's got so much potential of just leading that defense in the future.
Well, the only thing I can say is that realistically, the Patriots have owned Sam Darnold. That's the only thing I can bring up that even makes him.
Which Sam Darnold?
Exactly.
Did he play against the Vikings last year?
I
don't know if they did. And
I don't
if they
think
did,
they
I can pretty much guarantee that Sam beat them.
Yeah, no, I don't think they did. Well, I will say this. I'm looking at some of his stats right now. His first 6 seasons, Sam Darnold had 63 touchdowns. His last 2, he's had 60.
Oh, yeah. Which Sam Darnold?
So a difference
He's
of
a gunslayer,
opinion.
man. You just got to look at him. He's like he's ready to be the sheriff. Put the badge on him and let him go to town and work the border, baby.
Oh, that's right. Well, Big Nate, we appreciate the call, man. We're bumped up against the break, buddy, and I am excited about the game. I'm pumped up, and I hope you are too, man.
You'll be hearing from me Monday for sure.
All right. Well, that's a deal. I appreciate it, buddy. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Bye-bye.
All right, man. We'll see you later. But he's right, though. You know, it's a different Sam Darnold. It's a different Patriots team. This Patriots team is not the same team that they used to be.
No.
They've gotten better and
each game.
Vrabel has instilled in them confidence. They're playing with confidence, and they're doing the things that you're supposed to do. They're running the football and playing tough defense.
I love Vrabel as a coach. They're going to let it all hang out this game. I mean, Drake May, he's talking about the defensive rookie of the year. Drake May's no slouch. 6'5", 240, can run. I mean, he's going to have to make plays with his legs. This is the last game of the year.
Drake May's that big?
Yes.
I didn't know he was that big.
Big boy.
I didn't realize he was that big.
He's literally like a Josh Allen build.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize he was that big.
They kind of compare their builds to, being pretty identical. But yeah, he can move, and he's built for the NFL. So.
Wow. I had no idea that he was that big. I thought he was like 6'2", 6'3", like 220, 230. I did not realize it. I knew his brother played college basketball at North Carolina, and he was like 6'7", 6'8". So
yeah.
There you go. But I did not know that. But either way, we're bumped up against the break. When we come back, we've got the Mosley signees in the building. They're going to be joining us here in just a moment with Coach Tommy Joe. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
In the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your spot for college basketball.
And it goes in at the buzzer. Got it.
Listen to select games from the LSU Tigers, Florida Gators, the Auburn Tigers, and the biggest games around the country play here.
Three-pointer. Clutch it in.
The most live college basketball in the Panhandle.
Game is over.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The rest of the day, sunny and a temperature of 52 with wind 13 to 17 miles per hour out of the northwest. Clear skies tonight, a brisk wind and cool near 41. Sunny and 63 tomorrow. 62 and sunshine with a gentle breeze Saturday. Sunday, sunshine and a temperature about the same at 60. This is your Thursday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. It's Thursday. New Hard Rock Bet rewards are dropping.
Nice. You in, Jeremy Shockey?
I don't do drops. Jeremy, we're talking bonus bets, deposit matches, and parlay insurance. Got it. I do those drops.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New customers, double your winnings on your first 10 bets. Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
WGSX Lynn 8 and WVLQ Port St. Joe. Panama City's home for Super Bowl 60. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
Layup good and one. for the rim. Alley-oop dunk, smash down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended, rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball. Florida versus Texas A&M. Coverage starts Saturday at 7 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290.
I'm sure that most of you have used a dial telephone before.
The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Now back to the Sports Blitz.
It's 5 o'clock, and you're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for Super Bowl 60 right here in the Panhandle. We're so glad to have you joining us today. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. Don't forget, right after the show, Magic versus Nets. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock. So as soon as we say goodbye, the ball is going up. We're so pumped up and excited to have all of these guys in the building with us today. We've got Coach Tommy Joe Whidden of the Mosley Dolphins, and he's got two of his offensive linemen, defensive linemen, trench guys right here with us. Coach, I'm going to let you introduce these guys today, but either way, good to have you today, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us on. And obviously today was an exciting day for not only these two guys, but Mosley football. Just continuing our tradition of signing guys to the next level, and these guys definitely earned it, and excited to talk about them today.
Yeah, I'm so pumped up when I saw that these guys got in, because, let's just be honest. And guys, y'all can be honest with us today and say anything you want about the little skinny guys that get all the props and they get all this stuff. And I'm talking about the quarterbacks, and I'm talking about the running backs, and I'm talking about the wide receivers. Now is the time to talk about the guys that make it happen in the trenches, which is you guys. So, Coach, introduce these guys. Tell us where they're going, and let's start talking to them.
All right, so right here we got Jace Jernigan. He played left guard for us. He signed with Missouri Southern State, D2 school out in Missouri, and this is Joseph Chima. He played right guard and nose guard for us, but Chima signed as an offensive lineman, and he too as well is going to Missouri Southern State as well.
So teammates, and let's see, and Chima, right? As they call you Chima?
Big Cheem.
Yes, Big Cheem.
Big Cheem.
Okay, so Big Cheem, do you want me to call you that?
Yes, sir, go ahead. So,
okay.
Big Cheem and then Big Slime.
Big Slime
yeah,
and Big Cheem. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Well, I'll be middle-sized radio guy today, if that's all right. Why did you choose the place where you went?
Sir, the coaches, they seem very real. They seem like they had a family there. They seem like they had a good brotherhood there. I mean, you can see by their teammates, like, you could tell they had a good work ethic. You can tell that their coach cared about them. You can tell that they cared about the way they presented themselves, by the way they dressed, by the way they speak, and by the way they treat people around their community. When I was walking, because I had bought their merch, I went in the stores with this merch, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're from MSSU?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I've heard so many good things about that place. You guys are very respectful." I was like, "Ma'am, I don't play football there yet, but I will." And that just made me feel like, wow, these guys are genuine. These guys are mentally prepared for, life after college and stuff. And these guys have a very good program, and it's something I want to be part of.
Big Slime, what did you think about it?
Yeah, we went up on a visit this weekend, and it went well. I like the coaches a lot, and basically Tima explained it all, so yeah, it was great.
Are you guys going to be rooming together?
We don't know.
Yes.
Probably.
No, they will 100%.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. I was getting ready to say it'd probably be better for y'all to do that so that y'all could.
And it's not going to be good either, because if you want to guess who had the two messiest lockers in the locker room?
Yeah,
these two guys.
I bet so. And I bet you, who can? Because you guys look like y'all can put away some groceries. I mean, are we talking 3-4 pizzas or what? I mean, how many can y'all handle?
3-4 is crazy.
More than that.
Really?
By myself.
Wow, I did not realize that.
I can get one down by myself.
Okay.
But they were so messy to the point, like when we came back in January and these guys are gone and cleaned out their lockers, I made it a point that we will never have two guys with lockers like this ever again. Like it just, just a hamster cage of just junk in there.
So, Coach, how long have you had both of these guys? And we'll start with this one with Jace. Have you had Jace the whole 4 years that he's here, or how long? And kind of tell us the journey of how he got to Mosley.
So Jace, his freshman year, played at North Bay Haven, and then came to us his sophomore year, and had a lot of potential, athletic, big, could move, but definitely had a lot of maturing to do over his 3 years. And both of these guys, I think the biggest thing about them is how much, just in their growth and development, how much they changed, not only as football players, but just as people as well. And that's what I'm most proud about with both of these guys, is just along this process, they were really good players, but just, got better as human beings along this way as well.
So when you first saw these guys and you knew what you had with how you were building your team, how important is it for your program to have two guys moving on to the next level at these positions? Like, as far as to show, that it's not just about the skill guys, that it is about the offensive lineman, the defensive lineman. They can actually go and play at bigger levels too.
Well, I think the biggest message that it sends to everybody on the team is, like, their success in our program was not linear. There was definitely peaks and valleys along the way, and everybody got a front row seat to that. And to me, that should give the confidence to the guys on our team that if we're able to change our habits, change our work ethic, continue to get better, if these guys can do it, then I have the ability to do that as well. Because they have so much natural ability, but the things that just in their attention to detail and things like that, those are the things that they need to improve in the most, their practice habits. And that's where they just came so far over their time here at Mosley, and what I'm definitely most proud of with these two guys.
Now, during your awards banquet, both of these guys got awards.
Correct.
And you discussed some things, and I know that we're going to talk about Jace's. Will you tell us a little bit about his story, about Big Cheem's story during Mosley? And I believe you were telling us that how much weight he had started with and all of that, and how that he had just done a total transformation, becomes so great.
Yeah, Cheem is a completely different person than what he was as a ninth grader. When he came in, was constantly getting in trouble, lived in ISS, almost self-sabotaging how much he got in trouble. Ended his first semester with a 1.7 GPA, and just over the course of those 4 years, he went from a 1.7 to the last 3 semesters. He's made all A's.
Wow.
In the cafeteria as a freshman, sat all by himself, to at the pep rally doing cartwheels and backflips. And today the crowd went wild for him when he went up there to go sign. Just the difference that he made, within the school. But the biggest person that had the biggest impact on him was our former offensive line coach, Clint McCrory, who passed away, 2 years ago. But when Cheem had that 1.7, Clint McCrory brought Chima under his wing and tutelage, and just Chima took off from there. Just somebody that poured and invested into him and really helped him become the man that he is today.
Chima, what does Mosley football mean to you?
It's a lifestyle. It teaches you to become a man. It teaches you responsibility, and it teaches you to care about your future. Not just about the present, what will make you feel good now. It's about what you need now and then. It really builds your character. As he said, coming in at 400, Coach McCrory, I was very sad about his passing, but I knew that what he would want me to do now more than ever is to get my life straight. Yeah. And every single day I thought about that, and that's what motivated me, waking up, dieting, lifting, doing cardio, you know, because I was running every day. You know, I joined the wrestling team. You know, I was very committed to losing all that and becoming a man, not a boy, but a man.
Yeah. Well, and I guarantee you, I mean, he's proud of you. Everybody's proud of you. I'm proud of you. And, I mean, that's just fantastic. Go ahead, Coach.
And just speaking to the weight, like when his 9th grade year, Chima was, 390 pounds over he got down to 295, lost a little over 100 pounds in his time in Mosley football. And Chima is just, you know, why is football important? Like, Chima is just the example of why football gives you a purpose, something to strive for. It gives you the camaraderie, the bond amongst your teammates, and teaches you discipline, accountability, and just, again, he's an example of all of those things.
Well, that's fantastic, and that's a great story. Now, you got an award as well, and let's talk about that award. I know that you know, I believe you got it, and give us the backstory with that. We've got plenty of time to tell it.
Yeah, so like we talked about Jason, his change, there was a thing that helped him change more than anything else. It's just a big, massive monster truck rubber tire that we have out there by our practice field, and when you don't act the right way, you go over there and flip the tire. And Jace had to flip the tire so much that moving forward, the tire is now named Big Jace. And so, because he was on it so much, and just, again, it was an inside joke, just of how proud of how much he changed, that I got Jace a little mini trailer tire with his name on it and all that, just so he'll always have that tire to always remember, like, this is what caused me to change and how much time I spent on this. Don't ever forget this, that when I don't do what I'm supposed to be doing, then I'll be back on that tire.
So, Jace, what does Mosley football, Mosley school mean to you?
Mosley football, I mean, that's pretty much my life for the past 3 years. I don't really do anything else besides football. And, yeah, I like the coaching staff here. I love the coaching staff. And, yeah, one thing Coach Wooden harps on is, like, the value of time. He said that's more, like, when you leave, that's the one thing I want you to remember is, like, the value of time. Like, don't be late and yeah.
So this is your time. This is your opportunity. I've done this with Carson, and I've done this with Adam as well. You know, he's tough. He gets on you and all of that. But now, do you guys have any funny stories that you would like to share to all the people about Coach Tommy Joe Whitten? Because we see, you know, coaching football and all of that. Do you guys have any stories that you'd like to tell, or maybe just a funny story that you'd like to give? Go ahead. I knew you were smiling.
In fact, I do. Okay. Believe this was after workouts, and I was sitting at the bench where I usually sit outside of the locker room, and we had this guy named Cade. You know, me and him, he was right there and sitting there, right? And I'm known for, I'll say this. I'm known for farting a lot.
Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. Just if you wouldn't mind, don't do that in this room.
Oh, yeah.
This studio. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sure. I was in complete shock. So Coach Whitten went by me and gave me a care package, if you may.
Wow.
My brain, I was just like, wow, the strict, the Harper just farted on me. Astounded, bro. And I was just like, this is the coolest coach ever.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the story I was not thinking it was about to happen. Wow. Jace, I mean, I don't know if you can come up. I don't know if you can beat that one or not. We're probably going to move.
Honestly, I can't really think of it like a story, but like I can say that like Coach Whitten, like he seems like a very he's a hard coach, but he's really like a nice guy. He's like a little teddy bear almost.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So, Coach, let me ask you this. As far as with these guys, when you look into, you know, the level of play that they're moving into, going to play Division II, what is your, you know, when you're releasing them into the next program, next step in life, what is it that you want to tell them, you know, that you're hoping that they experience, hoping that they achieve in that? Because obviously, everybody's going to take their own route. Everybody's going to do their own thing. And, these guys are going to play together. They're going to play the same positions.
Mm-hmm.
But what's your goals for them?
Well, I mean, my goal is for them to continue to develop, continue to get better, continue to take the things from Mosley football onto to the next level, about showing up on time, being accountable to yourself and to your teammates, working hard, but more so than anything, just taking that competitive spirit. That's what got you here, and that's what's ultimately the game of football is about, competition. And everything that you do, just compete and try to be the best version of yourself that you can. And, these guys going to Division II football, I don't think most people know that in D2 football, a football team of 100 guys only has 36 scholarships.
Oh, wow.
So, these guys, most guys going Division II, don't get full scholarships. It gets broken up, where these two guys both going to Missouri Southern are both getting full scholarships going there. So I think that speaks to, how good they are, how excited Missouri Southern is in having these two guys, up there. And just really excited to watch them, watch how their careers develop. And again, both of them going there together, I think that's going to be a big plus, for both of them, and having that experience to lean on one another, and hopefully one of them's the left guard and the other one's the right guard, and here we go.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Now, do y'all like the snow? Because I don't know if y'all realize it or not, but there's going to be a lot of snow in your futures.
Yeah, it don't really bother me. I mean, it's cold, but it's nothing you can. I mean, it's not that bad.
Love the snow, okay? Even though I'm actually originally from Texas, so I actually come from the heat. Came from Texas, went to Florida, but every single Christmas, we always go to Ohio. Mm-hmm. Now, the only thing I don't like about the snow is the nasty slush. Mm-hmm. So when the snow doesn't get picked off the roads and the dirt from the tires mix in with the snow, it just makes the nastiest thing ever. So as long as that's not there, I'm loving it. Honestly, I love the cold. I wear jackets every day. I wear hoodies. That's honestly just how I dress. So the cold actually doesn't really bother me as much, even though some would probably think it would since I'm from the hotter areas. But I actually do enjoy it.
Okay, well, that's good.
And they got a little taste of it when they went, 2 weeks ago. They were supposed to go on their official visit, and that massive snowstorm came through. So it pushed it back a week later, and when there was still snow up there, and they got a little bit of a taste of it when they went up there.
So let me ask you, I'll go with you, Jace, first. Have you decided what you're going to study or what you're looking at trying to major in up there?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm thinking about doing business right now, but I really don't know.
Yeah. All right, Chima, what about you?
Most definitely sure. Industrial engineering.
Okay.
And I believe I also want to minor in culinary. So I do want to. People say, you're doing sports. It's going to be hard. You're doing engineer. You probably should pick a lighter major. But no, it is my dream. And just because something is hard, obviously another thing that I learned from Mosley football, just because something is hard does not mean you should give up.
Yeah.
Run full speed towards that goal and capture it. And that's exactly how I feel about it.
Wow, Coach, you seem like, these guys that are coming in, they know exactly what to say. You've done a lot of training with them. They are fantastic, and it speaks highly of who your program is and of you as an individual. And earlier, I don't know if you were able to hear, we had your athletic director on, Doug Lee was on, and he spoke really highly of you two guys as well as Coach Mosley, you're Coach Mosley now. But, when you look at it, when you're training these young men,
right,
that has to give you excitement and the joy of knowing that all of those early mornings, that all of the planning and all of the stuff that you have to do in the off season to get this program to where it is now, to see these kind of guys that where they started and then now where they are now. Just talk about that a little bit. How much satisfaction does it give you? And I know you don't want to, that's not ever good enough, but the satisfaction that you have in seeing these two individuals go and moving on like this.
No, I get a ton of joy, especially out of these two guys, just knowing their story, knowing their backstory, knowing where they started and how far that they came. I can tell, Chima's first football practice at Mosley as a 9th grader, he had his football pants on inside out and all the way down to his ankles. So that's how far we like. Again, if you would have told me that on that first day of practice, hey, this guy's going to be a college football player, I would have said there is no way that is even remotely possible. And just to see where it started, to see where these boys have gotten to, again, just take a lot of pride on that. And again, and then also trying to do everything we can to prepare them for the next level. I take a lot of pride. Like over Christmas break, Raiden Bruins comes back from Rutgers, and he just talks about how his transition from Mosley to Rutgers was seamless because they work out early in the morning. They do, their version of Mosley mornings where we're working at 5 a.m. There's just so many things that we do, so many parallels that makes that transition seamless for our guys. And I have all the confidence in the world that when these guys get there, that they're going to hit the ground running and have a lot of success.
Well, we're going to do one more question to each of you, and I want to ask you this, and I'll start with you. What was the hardest thing about football at Mosley for you?
Hardest thing, I would say starting out, most definitely. Coming from middle school, being immature, and then going to high school, not just high school, but Mosley High School, learning about responsibility, learning about, if you do something, you have to take accountability, learning to become a man, as I said previously. That was definitely hard starting out because the life I was leading, freshman year, as he said, I was getting written up. It was very hard for me to learn the discipline that came with Mosley football. But it definitely was the hardest part. But as soon as I learned it, right, I felt that, wow, this feels good. Not only does this feel good, but this is good for me. And, because I would think, talking loud in class, it feels good. It makes me feel happy because I get to talk whenever I want. Skipping class feels good. But that is not good for me.
Right.
This discipline that I was learning, this feels good. And it is also very good for me. And I will take this to my grave. Mosley football builds men.
Awesome.
And that's point blank, period.
That's great. All right, Jace, your turn. You had to follow that again.
Yeah, he's got me beat by 4.
That's fine. No, it's your answer, man. It's your answer.
The hardest thing, I would probably say, Mosley mornings. I mean, getting up at 4 a.m. and having to go up to school, and it's going to be hard when you get there. Yeah. You just got to accept it and do it. So I'd say Mosley mornings.
Awesome. Well, guys, we're so proud of you. We're proud of both of you. We're going to keep in touch with you guys, and congratulations. I know a lot of people have said that to you guys today and all over, but all of our listeners, all these people that are listening, people are giving thumbs up and claps and all of that for all of you for your accomplishments, and we just are proud of you. Thank you for taking your time out of your days to come and spend it with us here. And Coach, again, thank you so much for bringing them. Thank you for being a builder of men, and we're just excited that we can get a chance to watch it.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So when we come back, we will discuss a little bit more about the Super Bowl and some of the other stuff going on in college football. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 Studio Line. Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The Sports Talk and Live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite Sports Talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the Sports Talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Thursday. For tonight, clear skies and a low of 41 with a brisk wind around 9 miles per hour coming out of the northwest. Tomorrow morning, sunshine with temps around 60. In the afternoon and evening, sunny with a moderate breeze and a temperature near 63. Moving into Saturday, of the same with a high of 61 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
You've been low-key thinking about dropping a podcast. Well, now is the time to start, brah. Sports, politics, finance, science, health, real estate, music, interviews, surfing, conspiracy theories, or alien abductions. Ready to main character your own content? We can make it happen with Turnkey Podcast Productions from 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Our local, modern, state-of-the-art multimedia recording studio is now available for booking, starting at just $100 an episode. Take your fandom to the next level. For more information, text the keyword studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio 215-6290 or jam over to ESPNPC.com. Bruh.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your place for Super Bowl 60 right here in the Panhandle. We're so glad to have you join us on this beautiful Thursday right here in Northwest Florida. You want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. I've got Brandon and Bone Crusher, and now we are joined on the phone lines. And it's been a long, long time, but we are so thankful to have Alan Watson back on the phone from Golf Plus. Alan, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. I'm just a little bit under the weather, but I'm making it, and just got some of this winter crud that's kind of going around, but I'm surviving. I've been working really hard today, and had a lot of folks in the store, so just excited about the season that's coming up, and just glad to be back on the air with you again as well. Hoping to kind of get where I can come by the studio,
yes.
And once I get over this crud, I don't want to pass this on to you guys, but I'll come see y'all soon.
That sounds fantastic. So you open with that. So how is the foot traffic so far right now going? Have you been getting pretty good foot traffic?
Yeah, I mean, the Canadians are not here in the numbers that they normally are, but other than that, we're still really busy. A lot of local traffic. We're picking up folks from all over, and the word's just really out. And so I think, it's just one of those things like any business. If you keep doing consistently what you're supposed to be doing, then you'll see that growth over time. And we've been here 5.5 years now, and I've been in the golf business 30 years. And so we've remodeled the store like we talked about before. That happened. We just, everything is just kind of adding on and building on to the point where we're kind of where we are now. And I still think there's a lot more to come and a lot more success to come, but I'm happy about what we've been able to accomplish in Bay County and Walton County and what we're doing here. And we just, we're very appreciative.
So I know the last time we talked about it, everything was good to go and ready to go. And have people been coming in and getting, what kind of services has been the most? Is it repair or is it fittings? What's the thing that's driving the most right now?
It's still a good mix of both. Like yesterday, we had 3 different fittings booked. Today, I had a long fitting booked, but the repairs have been constant. So, I mean, the repairs are just nonstop, whether it's just a single putter grip or whether it's an extension, or we've done a lot of reshafting lately. So it's it's all of that, but right now it's a pretty good mix of both. So people want to get fit because they want to see the new products and see what's coming out and see if it's going to be better than what they have now. And then also the repairs of, like I said, that just never ends because you're just going to have to take care and maintain your stuff. It's just like owning a car. You're going to have to maintain it. So.
Yeah, clean them grooves, you know what I mean? So, Alan, Tennessee Brandon here. I am a golfer here in Bay County. I like to say that, if I'm breaking 100, we're doing pretty good, But nonetheless, as far as, you sell clubs, do you give lessons? I know you have obviously repairs and fittings. Do you have, people trading clubs? What other stuff do you have going on there?
Yeah, that's a great point. Now, Paul, do I have to talk to him? Because I went to Alabama and he said his name is Tennessee Brandon.
Yeah, he's not wearing. You do. He's not wearing a lot of orange today, so we'll
just a small accent,
Right. Okay. No problem. All right. Well, anyway, no, great question. Great question. We definitely do take trades. In fact, we took quite a few between yesterday and today. Okay. One of the common questions that comes up about that is people want to know where all those trades are when they come in the store because they don't see them. Yeah. So we have a warehouse that's off-site that's not available to the public, and all of our trade-ins and some new products as well, but a lot of our used stuff, it's all on eBay. So when you go to our website, golfplusdothan.com, there's a link that takes you to that. So people are always buying stuff off that, or they'll call us and we'll get it brought over. So, but we definitely take trades. We offer the repairs. We offer the fitting, of course, and then we will be offering lessons soon. I've got a new guy coming in that starts in another week or so. And so we will have lessons for people. He's a great teacher, but right now I've been doing some teaching here and there, but the problem is I just don't have time between all the fittings and repairs. So once Michael gets here, we'll start booking lessons and fittings with him. And but yeah, we're a well-rounded golf shop. The only thing we don't really do a lot of is clothing. We don't do hardly any clothing, and we're kind of getting away from shoes as well because honestly, Amazon just owns that realm.
Yeah, no doubt.
Online sites. So we do the things that people want to put their hands on, the clubs, the bags, the golf balls and the tees and all the little stuff, but really our main focus is custom fitting and repair. So I don't want to overhype that, but that really is why we exist and what people come to see us for.
I got you, Alan. Thank you for letting us know that.
No problem, man.
Alan,
you're a Tennessee fan. I hate that for you.
Hey, I feel bad for you and Paul as well, so don't worry.
Oh, man, it never stops. It never stops.
No, it never stops.
So let me ask you this. I saw some things. I know that even though you have gotten out of the retail side of it or, kind of moving towards that, but that doesn't mean that you don't sell the bags and the fun stuff that you can put on your clubs, right? I mean, you're still selling the stuff that's awesome. And then I talk about some of the stuff that's coming or that's there, and give us a little rundown of some of that, because that's some cool stuff. I saw some old school Batman and some Superman stuff that you could put out that I'm pretty excited about.
Absolutely. So we do have that stuff will be here any day now. And what Paul's talking about, if you're listening, is the head covers. We've got Disney, we've got Marvel, we've got Star Wars. We got all kinds of stuff like that coming for head covers, and we've already got a lot of that stuff, but we're getting more of it. We've got new bags that just came in from Ping and Mizuno, and we'll have other brands coming as well. We've got new headwear in from Black Clover, so if you're familiar with the Live Lucky brand, a lot of people wear those hats, even if they're not golfers. We've got lots of that. And then, of course, on the club side of things, the new TaylorMade line is already dropped. It's in the store, QI4D. We have that. It's going well. The new Cobra Optum line and the new Callaway Quantum line are on the way. They drop soon, real soon, so we'll have that. We have the new Ping G440K driver that a lot of people have been waiting for, so that just came in. So lots of new toys, new shafts from Fujikura, the new Ventus TR line just dropped. So really a little bit for everybody, whether it's just, if you need a new golf bag, if you need a head cover to spice up your look, if you need to get some better performance out of your driver shaft, we have that. So all kinds of manner of stuff. New Scotty Cameron Mallet putter line is on the way. I just talked to my Titleist rep today. She came by to say hey, and so we've got new SM11 wedges from Bob Vokey from Titleist. Those are on the way. I mean, I can go on and on because the golf season, hasn't really like officially kicked off, but the product part of it is starting to roll in now, and I think that's definitely getting people excited.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of alluding to. It does seem like, even though it's been cold, and hey, the groundhog said we only have 6 more weeks to go, so we're almost there. But when you look at it, it is right here around the corner, and I know that there's a lot of people starting to, get ready for the season. Now, let's shift gears a little bit. Give us some of this drama that's going on with the Live and the PGA, and what's some of the crazy stuff that's going on right now? Because I know there was some stuff talking about with DeChambeau and some of the other people and all of that. Give us a little rundown on that.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of different things going on. So one thing is that the official World Golf Rankings, they finally decided, okay, we're going to give points for live golfers and allow live golfers to be able to get points in the official World Golf Ranking. So now they're not shut out from that anymore. So how that's going to work exactly, I don't know, because obviously we're not playing the exact same events as the PGA Tour, but it'll help a little bit with some of these guys. And then, you had DeChambeau and like Koepka and some of these other guys where earlier in the season it was like, well, we're going to stick with live. And obviously for DeChambeau, he has a contract. So of course
big money.
But then you saw Koepka bail, and then you saw Patrick Reed win an event, and literally the next day after he wins, he's like, all right, I'm going back to the PGA Tour. So what we saw a year or so ago, where there was all these talks of trying to put the Live Tour and the PGA Tour somehow together and allow them to coexist and bond, that is not going to happen likely. You're not going to see that. Yeah, there was just really no way to there's not a glue strong enough to bond those two together. And so that's not going to happen. So I think you're going to see more defections from the Live Tour back to the PGA Tour, and I think you're going to see Live snatch up a few guys here and there that they can, but I don't think they're going to be able to get a big enough name. They're not going to be able to get like a Jordan Spieth, or they're not going to be able to get a Rory McIlroy to really overcome losing Koepka and losing Reed. So I think, give Liv another year for sure, maybe 2, and then after that, I don't think we're going to be talking about this anymore. I think a more likely scenario, now this is just me, hot take. I know you love hot takes, Paul.
Oh, yeah.
I think the more likely thing that's going to happen, and I don't know if anybody's even talking about this, I may be the first person to conjecture this, I think it's much more likely that you're going to see YouTubers, because they already have formed all their own alliances and whatnot, I think you're going to see YouTubers having their own big events, like a Live Tour event, where it's a multiple-day event that people pay to go see and go be a part of. I think that, because YouTube golf is so big already, when they did the Creator Classic, when they did the Internet Invitational with Barstool Sports and all that, I think you're going to continue to see events like that happen, and they might create their own content tour, type thing, or YouTube might create a tour. Who knows? Because people love, you think about it, music bands and stuff, they go on tour, they come to your city, and so, and people love to go out and go see a show. Well, sports is the same way, but in most sports, they have their home and they have their away, and that's it. But with these YouTube guys, they could go anywhere and draw a crowd and create content and have people be a part of it. So I think Live Tour goes away. I think YouTube creator content people create their own tour over the next couple of years, and I think that's what's going to happen in golf. Mark my words.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Alan, I think you're a lot correct on that. As far as these golfers going to Live, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does seem that their play decreases. Brooks Koepka was one of your stars in the PGA, and when he went over to Live, it's just like his style of play. It wasn't as sharp as it was. Jon Rahm's isn't as sharp as it used to be. You see a lot of these Live players, obviously they have to wear their Live uniforms when they're doing YouTube videos. It's part of their rules. But a lot of these professionals are doing YouTube. They know how big this YouTube world is. You're right. Wow. The Creator Classic tournament, you're talking about $1 million, $2 million prize pools. Dave Portnoy did the one that you just talked about, the Barstool ones, with like over $1 million. And they're just a bunch of YouTubers. And people would go to see these people. You've got anywhere from good to the Brian Bros, to Grant Horvat. I mean, these are all 3 huge YouTube channels with hundreds of thousands of followers. I mean, I watch a bunch of YouTube golf.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's great. It's relaxing. It's not, you know, it's fun. These guys have good personalities. I think Alan's right. It wouldn't be too long before, if they did a multi-day tournament and they come to your city like a concert or like a football game, they would sell out tickets to golf courses and people would come to watch them because people are already watching them, giving them hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. So
wow. So Alan, you think that's the area it's going?
I think so, and I think a lot of these live guys, if they can't get back into the PGA Tour or they don't want to get absorbed into like the DP World Tour, you know, they could start creating their own content the way that Bryson's doing it and become part. I mean, Good already has 4 professionals on their staff.
They do.
You know, wearing the clothes and all that. So why not see a mix of, you know, amateur content guys mixed in with pros, so that at least that way you have some higher quality golf shots being played. I mean, sometimes it's fun to watch these guys goof around, but I still want to see good golf get played, right? And so I just think that's where we're going. In other words, we've already got it in front of our eyes on the computer. So what makes you think they're not going to put it out in front of our eyes in real life so that people can go see it and sign the autographs and sell the merchandise,
Agreed.
sell the tickets? It's coming. It's coming. You know it is.
Yeah, and that's crazy because golf is such a get off my lawn type of, you know, I mean, it really is. And so now you're telling me that YouTubers, not only have they taken over wrestling, not only have they taken over the internet, now they're taking over the game of golf. I mean, good Lord, this is breaking news to me because I'm sitting here going, I've never really heard of YouTube golf. I don't know what you're talking about. But I did not realize it was such a big deal. And that's crazy.
Yeah, you'll have so many pros. They'll, like Alan said, they'll come to join. I mean, John Rahm has shot multiple videos with Good, and they'll do 2v2v2s, and each of the Good members will be partnered up with a pro, and they'll have, you know, and these Good guys, they're not just like me and you. I mean, these guys are pretty decent. You know what I mean? They're not horrible. And like Alan said, they have 4 or 5, you know, pros on there. There's one of them, Brad Dahlke, which actually went and played with Scotty Scheffler and a lot of these, Colin Morikawa. He's played with them, I mean, from the ages of young all the way through college, and now he plays YouTube golf. And in interviews, they're like, yeah, this guy was at the absolute greatest when we were playing him with a child. And the dude does YouTube golf. So, you know, you can have more leisure, more fun, less rules, and probably, correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, probably make just as much money doing YouTube golf as any low to mid-tier PGA golfer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly where the money falls because a lot of these guys now have to have managers and they have to have all this stuff. But because they can sell merchandise and because they control the rights to their own product, unlike, you know, the thing that Phil Mickelson was so mad about a few years ago with the tour and what led to him leaving and doing live was because he didn't even own the rights to his own clips. So whenever there was a clip of him hitting some amazing shot on YouTube, PGA Tour was who was making that money, not him. So he didn't own his own image, likeness, etc., the way college football players now do. And yet he was already a professional. And so these guys have the opportunity. I mean, I sell good hats in my store. I'm also about to be bringing in Breezy hats, which is the ones that Bob does sports.
Bob does sports. I love Bob.
Wow.
Yeah. So they've got some hats that say like life is hard or golf is hard. Something I can't remember their catchphrases, but anyway, I'm blanking. But we're going to have those hats in as well. So it's, you know, like it's just that's going to become as big as some of these other brands before long, where people are more interested in wearing a hat that represents their favorite YouTuber
than their favorite golfer.
Their favorite golfer on the tour.
Yeah, and speaking of Phil, he goes on Live, but he's got his own YouTube channel. It's called High Flyers YouTube channel, and he has almost 300,000 subscribers. and he posts videos. Him and Grant Horvat, who's a YouTube golfer who's really good consistently, they're partners. Phil has made him a partner in one of his apparel companies. They shoot a ton of videos, and Grant actually helped him get his YouTube channel going. And now Phil's got, you know, 300,000, and if he decided not to do Live Golf, he could make a living and just do, you know, golf YouTube videos, whether it's instructional. I mean, Phil is a mastermind of the game. Listening to Phil speak as he's playing golf, not only his trash talk, but his intellectual, like going through his swing thoughts, is something to watch.
Wow.
Yep, that's for sure.
Well, Alan, I mean, our time is up, but I will say this, man. I think we ought to do an event here. I mean, why not? Bring them jokers here, and Golf Plus will sponsor it, and we'll get out there and and be a part of it.
We'll commentate.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know a few of the YouTubers. I know Martin Borgmeyer, and I know DOD King, and I know Sam Judas. So
they're great too. Yeah, man.
We'll figure out how to get some of that going.
You're not kidding.
But yeah.
Well, we got the Super Bowl coming up. Give us your prediction. You know, a lot of people are talking more about the other stuff about the Super Bowl instead of the game, but let's get the game prediction from Alan Watson.
I'm going to take the Patriots. I mean, you know, they've been in, 11 Super Bowls, so they've got Stephon Diggs. You know, it's interesting, just really quickly, that both teams have the same record. They almost have very identical points for and against throughout the season, so very evenly matched in terms of home and away wins. So it's a pretty balanced look in terms of what we're going to see, I think. But I think the Patriots win. You know, if I had to put a score on it, I'll say 24-17.
All right, my friend. Well, I appreciate it. I think you're the first one, besides we had one Southport Patriot fan that has called in, and you are the only one that's picked the Patriots so far. I haven't picked yet. I'll be picking tomorrow. But we appreciate your time, and we hope that you get to feeling better, my friend.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Alan.
Yes, sir. Alan Watson with Golf Plus. Go see those guys over there. They do a great job. When we come back, we're going to discuss the last little bit part of the show. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball on the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
Discover the new Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive the all-new 2026 Kia, where comfort, safety, and technology come together like never before. Explore the new 2026 SUV family that moves you and drive away in a new 2026 Seltos, Sportage, or Sorento that are built to inspire every journey. Craving performance? Feel the thrill in the luxurious 2026 Kia K5 sedan, crafted for power, style, and you. And for innovation that sparks excitement, check out the 2026 all-electric Kia EV9, a modern masterpiece that's fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. It's the peace of mind that you can trust. Visit us at 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or online at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for details.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack. Layup good and wide. Up to the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it. To the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Florida versus Texas A&M. Coverage starts Saturday at 7 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eat, sleep, game. This is your sports obsession. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for the Orlando Magic. Don't forget tonight, right after the show, the Magic play the Nets. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock. Also, don't forget Saturday, Alabama at Auburn, 2:30. And then Florida versus Texas A&M at 7 o'clock. Don't forget them Gators. They're playing some good basketball right now. Don't forget, you want to be a part of the show, you got about 5 minutes. You can be 850-215-6290, the Red 70s phone line. The Red 70s, all the places for your custom apparel. Brandon, Recommended Collision Center.
Yes, sir.
It is your family-owned run business. It is a staple of a body shop, a service center, all of it built into one place right there on Jinx Avenue. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, man, we're family-owned, like you said, staple. We take pride in, quality of work and customer service, and, we're locally owned and like to serve locally as well. We do a lot of work for, the Panama City Beach Police Department and Florida Highway Patrol and a couple of other different vendors around town. And, obviously, and individuals that walk in, man, we love to be able to service everybody, whether it's a business, whether it's an individual, whatever it is. So, we get free estimates. You just come by and you see us. It could be anything on your car. We specialize in collision damage. So whether it's a minor, whether you backed into your garage or, your kid hit your door with a baseball. Mm-hmm. We can take it all. Whether somebody hits you, on the road or the street and you're filing an insurance claim, we can take care of it all. So, if you're listening, you can come by and see us at 1329 Jinx Avenue, or you can give us a call at 850-763-2471.
Let me ask you this. So, if I have to replace a fender, do you have to paint the whole car?
Not the whole car. There's a process called blending. And what we do is I explain blending like expanding our canvas. Imagine that fender is a blank canvas, and I need to expand my canvas so I'm able to match the color. So occasionally, especially on certain colors, that we will have to expand that canvas and take that color from the fender to the door. That way it's a smooth transition rather than a night and day, because we can match color. We just can't match the age or the sheen. So, it's a fine skill that we have, slowly trying to master, but it's changing. Just in like everybody's job, there's new colors coming out, new products, things of that nature. So we're constantly learning just like everybody else, but, we take pride and take that extra step and try to make it as good as we physically possibly can.
Bone Crusher, whenever he was given that statement, I was almost feeling like I was listening to Bob Ross. He was talking about my canvas, and I thought I was going to hear, oh, you got a little pretty little tree over here. We're going to put on your fender for
There's
you.
There's an art to it.
I mean, there is, and it looked really good.
Last time I did my car up, at the last collision place I went to, the front door was green and the rest of the car was blue. Didn't match very well at all.
No matching and no blending there.
We can fix that.
But anyway, so go see those guys over there. I just got an email, a text message. Just want to break this. I'm not sure 100% that this is all the way true, but I do want to say there is a report out that says that College Game Day host Kirk Herbstreit has announced and says that the upcoming season will be his final season on the College
talking about a staple. He has been a staple to College Game Day for as long as I can remember. So
I can't believe that.
Yeah, I know him and like Pat McAfee are good buds too. I don't know if he's going to remain, or maybe he may be taking the main role. Is why they kind of brought him on, as maybe a potential transition. Not sure where it's going with Lee Corso out, and then Kurt's going on his last, and and David Pollock was on there a few years ago, and he's kind of faced his way out. So, things are constantly changing, and nothing ever stays the same forever.
Yes, so there you go. Some breaking news. I'm not 100% sure if that is legitimate, but I did want to announce it that looks like Kirk Herbstreit last year with College Game Day. So there you go. We don't have to listen to any more OSU bias.
We'll report anything you text us. We'll report that.
Well, it was with a source that I trust. How about that? So the source was a trusted source. It wasn't just some whatever on my phone. So either way. But either way, we're going to go to the Red 70s phone line. We got Mike on the line. Mike, how you doing today, my friend?
Oh, I'm fine. If that's a true report, I can't stand Kurt.
Yes.
I can't stand Kurt Herbstreit on College Game Day. So hope that report is true. Real quick, I want to ask you a question. What's going on with the Live Fast Golf and what's going on with the PGA? Because then I want to give you my prediction for the Super Bowl.
Well, like what Alan was saying, it looks like the Live is starting to kind of go away. The bigger stars are starting to go back to the PGA, so it looks like that's going to take over. And then him and Brandon kind of brought to the table all of this YouTube golf that's going on and how great and big and all that. So to me, and what the experts have said is that possibly the Live golf is not going to live very long. So it looks like the PGA is going to take over. But I'm curious, we got about 2 minutes before we're out of here. Give me your prediction and tell me why.
Seattle 24, or Seattle 34. The other team, nothing. Why? Because I like the West. It's about time somebody to New England and they're not dealing. Team that can win the Super Bowl. So I'm picking Seattle. Now my two roommates are picking New England, but I'm going to get the grain and say it's time that the Patriots get their fat hands to them. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome, Mike. I appreciate your calling, my friend. We're so glad to have you.
And I will call tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Well, have a great rest of your night. Yes,
See
sir.
you, Mike.
You know, he says something that, that happens a lot. It really does. That when you see a team that's successful, that winning bias or maybe there's a better word for it.
People love to hate.
Yeah, they don't. And I get it. And for me, with all of the other teams, I love seeing a dominance. Like a dominant team. I like seeing that. Obviously, with Alabama, I like seeing that.
Of course.
But, with Brady and those guys, it does. You like to see it because it's almost like they're the favorite every time. And when they do finally lose, like when they lost against the Giants, that was a big deal. That was a deal that everybody that was alive, that was an adult, they'll always remember that. They'll remember David Tyree catching the ball. They'll remember how unstoppable Randy Moss was with Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
They were just unstoppable until they were. And then when they were, it was just like a crazy thing that happened. And that is one of the moments of football that you'll always remember if you were an adult. And so when you see that, that's what I like about it. I like seeing the dominance, but I also like being David versus Goliath. It seems like David versus Goliath all the time.
I do like that.
And when you see it and when you see the upset, when you see somebody else take it on and you're like, wow. But to me right now, the Patriots are not a dynasty. The Seattle Seahawks, they're not even close.
Neither one of these guys are Goliaths. It's like David versus David, and kind of in a sense, I don't necessarily think that any of these teams, like you said, there isn't a Ravens, there isn't a Chiefs, there's not an Eagles, even the 49ers who have a bunch of star power. I mean, there's no really big Goliath in here. So you got two teams that in the beginning of the season with Sam Darnold being the new quarterback and Drake May only being his second year, I don't believe anybody but those fan bases could have predicted that they would be in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's just the crazy thing about it. And, we will get our predictions tomorrow. You won't be with us tomorrow. What's your prediction?
I'm going Patriots on this one. Not that I want them to win. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I'm a Patriots fan. I'm absolutely not. I think that Drake May and Vrabel, they get it done, man. I believe in Vrabes. Like I said, I was sad when we let him go from the Titans. Thought that was a terrible decision.
Yeah. Well, either way, we did it. You made it.
Yes, sir.
Guess what tomorrow is, guys? That's
Friday.
Right. Friday. Thanks for listening today. We will be back tomorrow. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. It's crazy to say that Sam Darnold hoists a trophy. You got to put him in the top 10. The Vikings were 7-10 before he arrived, 14-3 during, and mediocre again this year at 9-8. The Seahawks had no playoff wins for 8 years. Darnold arrives with the second youngest roster. They're in a Super Bowl.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Weekdays at 1.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Thursday. For tonight, clear skies and a low of 41 with a brisk wind around 9 miles per hour coming out of the northwest. Tomorrow morning, sunshine with temps around 60. In the afternoon and evening, sunny with a moderate breeze and a temperature near 63. Moving into Saturday, of the same with a high of 61 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Get ready, boys. Valentine's Day is incoming. Coin and bullion reserves fine jewelry will make the process easy. Earrings, necklaces, diamonds, and engagement rings. Plus, free 1 dozen stunning red roses with purchase of $500 of jewelry or more. For decades, you've trusted Coin and Bullion Reserves Fine Jewelry, the largest rare coin and bullion dealer in the Southeast. Finest jeweler in town, still at 2621 East 15th Street. Coin and Bullion Reserves Fine Jewelry, your diamond headquarters.
Are you ready for another historic season at the bank? It's time to lock in your seats for 2026 by placing your deposit now. Next season will be played at Everbank Stadium, but seating capacity is limited due to in-bowl renovations, and spots are going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to see the season's biggest matchups and highlight real moments by placing your deposit at Jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. Go Jags!
WGSX Lynn Hayden, WFLQ Port St. Joe. Panama City's home for Super Bowl 60. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
That's going to do it for us here on Magic Tonight, delivered by Papa John's. It's the Orlando Magic versus the Brooklyn Nets. Jake Chapman on the call. Tip-off coming your way next.
This is Orlando Magic basketball.
Franz backs away. Now Reddish. Wagner step back. 3-ball is up. It's in! Franz stuck it!
Magic basketball is brought to you by Advent Health, the official healthcare provider of the Orlando Magic.
Now Powell's just going to pull a